Good afternoon, friends. I know I'm hopping on a little late for Monday. I knew I'd be very sporadic today. We had to do our tax appointment this morning at 10, so that's why I couldn't come and have fun with you. But if you happen to be on right now, go ahead and say hello. I'm just making sure everything made it. There we go. I do have my comments up, so hopefully as long as the internet holds out, we will be fine. I'm just gonna do a little adjusting. Perfect. So yes, we are gonna walk through our 8.3 Winter Scrappy Camp Challenge, and I would have been on sooner, but I had picked out papers for this previously and decided to change them. I didn't really like them anymore. Before I had these kind of picked out is before I had this gorgeous Celestial Delights though, and these are just some random papers from previous collections I've had. It's really just a mass gathering of random papers I had, and I didn't really like them anymore, so I wanted to go with something more with the gold and the blue because, you know, we're in front of the 50th anniversary castle, and I don't know, it needed a little more pizzazz, and I wasn't feeling it anymore, so sorry I went blurry on you there. Come back, there we go. So yeah, I just wanted to shift some things around, and as always, I'm winging it because that's in true Ashley fashion. So yeah, as I said, I am using, let me find the cover sheet here, the Celestial, I can never say this word, Celestial Delights paper. I also have the cute embellishments. This is a foiled paper here. I have some of the more of the stuff up here. I'm trying to find the cover sheet for the other one. Oh, there it is on the back. So this was in the secret box number 1 for this year. I adore this. Like, I saw it and I was like, okay, maybe. You know, I took some pictures of the Northern Lights and it could come in really handy, you know, whatever. And then I saw it with Disney stuff and I'm like, whoa, okay, this has a lot of possibilities. And the more I look at it, the more I know I can use it. In fact, I did create, if you saw, I did not do a video on this one because it was for another advisors challenge, someone on my team, and I used it for our meetup with Asha, and I'm like, oh my goodness, it's perfect for Wish. You know, if you've ever seen the movie, very starry, gold, very perfect for this collection. So I made this before, and the more I'm using this, the more in love with it I am. So it's kind of a new favorite, and I did say it was part of the first secret box, and I know what you're thinking. You're like, oh no, I didn't get the first secret box, but guess what? Good news. You can get it once secret box number 2 comes out. You can also go back and get the first one, meaning you can still get this collection in April. So keep an eye out for that, because that's pretty exciting. I'm pretty stoked to maybe get more, because I might use it all up. You never know. I'm flying through it right now, so that's what I'm using. I decided to land there. So yeah, and then I'm also using a piece of vellum paper from, I'm getting crazy, I'm using foil and vellum today, from the Sparkle and Shine. I don't know if you remember that. It's from a secret box, you know, a few years ago now. I had some vellum left over and I couldn't pick like a background sheet for my squares and triangles, so I just decided to try that. And I wanted something more muted, but that would play nicely, so we're gonna see. Maybe I'll hate it by the end, but that's okay. It's a page done, right? So yeah, we're gonna go ahead and get started. Again, this is a layout that looks scary. I get that, but I think it looked really cool. A lot of you have already done it, and I've seen what you've done. You're like, it was tedious, but I love it. It was worth it. So I'm hoping that's the case with the rest of you as well. And what I'm seeing is gorgeousness. Let me tell you, I just love it. So we're going to begin to use a sheet of our background. I am using white so as not to wash out too much. I thought the pictures were pretty bright, so I'm going to go with a white background as opposed to a dark because I think these stars are going to darken it up a little bit too. So yeah, we're going to go with that. And then we need to cut 20 squares that are 2 1/4 inch. And they use stone paper. It's hard to see on this printout. That's where I'm going to use the vellum. So I'm going to get started with that. I'm just going to get my trimmer. You need to keep in mind if you're working with vellum, you have to be kind of gentle with it. Cutting it's fine, but if you bend it, it's going to look a little wonky. So just keep that in mind with vellum. And luckily, we're going to be covering a lot of the vellum, but I do have a special vellum tape runner. I actually should get that out. that we're going to use with it as well, so it doesn't show up as much through the vellum. And I think Creative Memories vellum tape runner is one of the best I've ever used for vellum tape runners, so we'll get to that. So we're cutting 20 squares. So again, this challenge, it's not hard, it's just tedious. And that's where all these squares come in. You're going to be cutting lots of squares, and then we're turning some of those squares into triangles. So there's 1, is 2, let's make sure I did that wrong. Yeah, I think so. So 2 1/4. That's 1. And unfortunately, we're going to end up in oddness because it's not exactly 2, so we're going to have a little left over in each of these strips, and that's okay. I just really wanted to use up this vellum as well because I've had it forever, and I'm just always looking for the right time to use it. And I was like, oh, I bet I could use this here for a background. I have a couple more sheets yet to use, like green and purple, and it just didn't seem to go with these things, so I went with the grayish. Perfect. All right, so how many I get? I got 5 out of that. All right, we're mathing. We're good. 2 1/4. And you want to make sure it's lined up all the way down on your line, because it's easy to like kind of tilt it up here with that gap there. So just make sure all the way down your line, you're lined up. And I like to push against where it's pushed up against. There's 5. We're gonna still go. 6. So we'll have 10 here. I probably could stack these and do them, but with vellum I'm a little nervous. I think paper I'm more comfortable like doing all the strips and stacking them, but vellum I'm not so comfortable with doing that. So this should be 10. So we're going to repeat this process a couple more times. Like I said, it's tedious. Not hard, just tedious. All right, and then 2 1/4. My hubby is picking my kid up from school right now because he's off on Mondays. And I'm like, all right, I might be doing a live when I get home, so just be quiet. But they're probably going to forget. So by about 3:30, if I'm still on here, you might hear some commotion, and that's okay. If you're a mom, you know. Or if you've had kids. This will be 15 in this strip here. Gotta remember to double check my line. I like tend to look up here and then I don't look all the way down. Luckily with these shorter lines, it's not as bad. But okay, and one more strip will make 20. Woohoo! 2 1/4. Look all the way down. I like to close my little gate here first, and then I'll like kind of do subtle adjustments while it's closed, because that helps hold it in place for me in other spots. All right, and we have a little left over for another time. Perfect. And 2 1/4 this way, and that should give us 20. 1, 2, and 5. There we go. That should be 20 if I counted correctly. All right, and then I'm gonna go find my vellum tape runner. I had a class, so I pulled my vellum out to use my tape runner for the class. Let me grab my empty one. Oops. That'll work. All right. Don't use the vellum very often, so let me make sure. Yep, the vellum, if you notice, you know the other tape runner is kind of segmented. This one kind of looks like it's all one piece, because the vellum is a little more gooey, so it comes off more like that instead of in segments. You can just kind of pull it off. So yes, it's like, are you sure that's a vellum? Yes, it is. Or is that my max? Maybe I should make sure, because I use my max one too. Nope, this is vellum. All right. So I'm going to move this for a minute, and then I'm just going to keep going down our instructions. This is where we find it's not as hard as if we go through the instructions. You're adhering them, adhere on the layout in a grid pattern as shown, spacing them evenly. So that's where our lovely 13 by 13 mat's going to come into place. And And with vellum, it's going to be a little tricky because normally I'd use repositional. I don't know how repositional vellum tape runner is, so maybe we're going to learn today. So I like to just lay things out. And I just like to see how it's going to look. Looks like they go 5 across. Makes sense since we cut a strip. And okay. So I'm just going to kind of gauge how far apart they each should be. And I am not going to be the most even person in the world. I'm just going to say that right now. If you are, you can totally like go by your 13 by 13 mat. I'm going to do as best as I can, obviously, but looks like we're going to kind of space like that, perhaps. I'm just going to start on one side. And again, I love the vellum tape runner. I'm not going to get too crazy with it. See, it's like gooey. And you got to crank it a little more, I find, because you just kind of pull it. This might be interesting. We'll see. And it's going to show at first, but there's creative ways to hide it. And even on this one, it's like you can see it a little bit, but the more you rub it down, the better it gets. So I will say I do like this vellum tape runner the best out of all the ones I've tried. And I've used a few, especially back when I wasn't doing a whole lot of creative memory stuff. I was like the Scotch tape girl. But this one, I honestly, you can't see it as much as others. And even though sometimes you feel like you can see it, it doesn't stick out like a sore thumb like some of them. So, let's see. We're just gonna do the best we can here. So yes, this one just takes a lot of little pieces is what I find. And just taking your time and sticking them down. Patience is a virtue with this one, friends. Kind of put one in the middle of that one. We're going to see how that turns out. Okay, it looks pretty even. And now we're just going to keep repeating the process. And luckily we kind of have a foundation now to go off of. That should help us a little bit here. Okay. Oops, I'm so sorry. Just making sure it's not my hubby or something in a ditch, which I'm so glad our roads are finally clearing off out there. Okay. So yes, again, just tedious, not hard, just tedious. Just gotta be patient with it. And even if it's not fully even, that puts so much character on your page, in my opinion. I try to be straight with my pieces, but sometimes it just does not work out very well. Just because I'll look at it now and be like, oh, it looks so straight. And then I'll go look at it when I'm done. I'm like, oh, how the heck did I do that? Which is totally fine. Like I said, I just want the page done. And that's okay. See, like over here, I even notice this margin's getting wider toward the bottom. And then, of course, there's like a little piece of hair does start to fuzz or something. My cats like to jump up here since I have to leave the door open right now. Who knows what they do on my craft table, which is why I put everything away. That's important. It's like having toddlers, those cats, I tell you. All right. Luckily, they don't know how to open the pens and draw on things. That's a little different. We're getting there. It's like building a house, you know, we're just putting brick by brick up. Building a page. It takes patience and lots of... All right, last row. I'm not really sure how much to leave at the bottom here. I know we're putting a piece on the bottom. It looks like a 2-inch strip, so we should be about right. And then we're going to put a border there to cover things. I'm just kind of eyeballing it and going with it. I might have been proactive even to put the 2-inch strip down first. I don't really know. That way you know how far down to put your squares. Sometimes I like to center things based on what's on the page. That way I can see like, oh, here's where the strip is, here's the top. I know I have this much room to work with. But here we'll just go by the instructions and it'll be okay. Everybody's different, so it's alright. But yeah, I do really like this vellum tape runner. Even looking back, I don't really see a whole lot showing up. There are some like dark little pieces here and there, but I think over time those rub in and then you don't see them as bad. And even those dark spots, they're not nearly as bad as some I've used. I've used some that were really like bright and it like shined even brighter after you got on the vellum. Like, why is this vellum tape runner? It's terrible. All right, so there's our first grid there. I don't think I'm gonna need the vellum tape runner anymore because all of our vellum's down. So next we got to cut at least 6 2-inch squares with a variety of paper scraps. And I kind of was looking at this and it looks like they used about 4 different patterns on here. Maybe there's 5, I can't really tell. I am going to use 4, like the front and back of this and this, and then I have more of this if I need more, but we're going to cut these into 2-inch squares as well, and the strip is already 2 inches. I'm pretty sure I measured it before I picked it up. Yep. So these are going to be 2-inch squares. I need 6 of them. So I think I will do probably 3 from each just to keep it even. And then if I need more, I can go back and trim up some more. So there's 3 from that one. It's going to be very painful to cut into this paper, but I have another sheet and it's okay. Like I said, I might end up buying more of this because I really like it. Surprisingly, I love this collection. And I'm really glad we'll be able to get it again in secret box number 1 of this year. 2, 4, and 6. Alright, so we'll start that because it says do 6 with variety of scraps. Trim each in half from corner to corner. So I'm going to set my paper aside. And then to do it in half, I just line up the tips of my squares. And these aren't really too directional. If you have directional paper, I should have led with that. Maybe pick paper that's not too directional because we're going to be layering it in funny ways. But if it is directional, you can still make it work, I'm sure. And I go slow when I have a hard time gripping pieces. Like this is a smaller one to grip. So just take it slow. Okay, so we're trimming each of these in half. We're learning how to do lots of triangles this week, obviously. And I think sometimes we get intimidated by triangles, but we realize, oh, they're just squares cut in half. You know, unless you have to do those funny shaped ones like in Challenge 8.1. That's the one I struggled the most with. Was 8.1 because I could not figure out how to do the sliver triangles, and I ended up wasting like not sheets, but like a lot of my paper. I still have it in my stuff, but I'm sure I can use it at some point. But I wasted a couple of those strips because I went and set it on there. I'm like, oh, I misunderstood this. Like I didn't write the directions properly or something. I was at a crop, you know, I was distracted. So that's the one I struggled with the most. However, when I was picking out challenges, I looked at this one, I'm like, yeah, this one's a little tedious. Maybe this is the one we'll do live. So, it's my first shot at this one, so you never know what's going to happen. All right. Adhere the triangles on the stone squares, which are my vellum squares, to create a tile mosaic pattern as shown. So, we're going to build our pattern. So, I'm going to also think about where my photos are going to go, because rather than like use a whole bunch underneath there, I'm probably going to space them out a little bit, although it might be fine. We'll see. And I got to keep in mind I have 2 sides to these, so some are shiny and some are not shiny. So, oops, looks like I kind of do this, although to me those look smaller. Did I do this wrong? They're 2-inch. I wonder if that one's like trimmed down or something. They just look so much bigger. I don't know why. All right. I struggle with triangles, obviously. Okay. And you're going to want to kind of match them up like so. I find a lot of times too, I look at the directions and the things look smaller on there than they are in person. Or sometimes I'll go to trim things and it looks way smaller. Like if I trim a photo, I'm like, that looks so much smaller than in the directions. And it's not. It's just my brain playing games, which happens quite a bit, if I'm honest. Okay. Try to, oh, that one looks bigger. How did that happen? Did I cut one the wrong size perhaps? I wonder if I did. That one might be the wrong size. That one's fine. It just looks so much bigger. I don't know why. Oh, so yes, this is again very tedious. Just lay it out first. Make sure you like how it looks. Is this really the wrong size? I don't know. Again, I am not a math girl, so this is interesting. Oh, that's 2 inches. It just looks so funny to me. All right. So here's that one. Okay, and I want to mix this up a little bit. And I could always go back and get different papers if I need to. They just look so close together. I'm so perplexed right now. They just look too big. It's so strange. I wonder if the instructions are wrong. Oh, you know what? I wonder if you're trimming them in half again. And I was like, I don't have enough squares. Oh my word, you guys. That's so funny. I need to stop and read before I go live because I think I get nervous when I'm live and then I don't like follow the instructions fully. So yes, trim each in half from corner to corner and again, opposite corners. Got it. All right. Now we're cooking with gas, you guys. I am actually paying attention now. Okay, so we're even more tedious. This looks better. All right. We got this. We're going to make it. It's Monday. I just had to do taxes today. It's rough. So funny. Okay. This is tricky because you got to know exactly where the half is. And I'm just going to kind of eyeball it along this line. As long as the point is in the cut line and you're lined up on a line, you should be okay. And again, I might shut my gate and do minor adjustments here. I should butt it up against the bottom here. Okay, this looks more right. Oh my goodness. Yes, I'm gonna butt it up against the bottom because that'll be easier to control. And I am doing 2 at the same time. With these, the vellum I was a little uncomfortable doing that with, but these I have no problem. Stacking them. And then putting them like this. So yes, you're cutting these squares into 4s. They're going to be quarters. Not halves, just halves and halves again. So keep that in mind. When you go to do them, you're like, wait, what? Okay, there we go. I was like, it just doesn't look right. It's so weird. Oh yeah, nothing. Okay. So again, not hard, just tedious. All right, now we should be good. I'll let you know if you have to cut it again. So far, I just saw it twice now. I read it now. We're good. Okay, so now we got our squares the right size. That looks so much better. I was like, why does that look weird? Okay. We are just gonna lay these out. Corners go to corners. If you didn't think you needed to know shapes in kindergarten, now you need to know them. Just saying. Actually, I think I want to use, I'm kind of looking at my pieces and I like these bigger stars, so I think I'm gonna like use this side without the bigger shiny stars. I don't know how many of you do that. You look for like the ones that have more shine on one side versus the other, and then you use that one for your pieces. There we go. All right, this makes so much more sense. Now we're gonna kind of put this one here, and I could just do, let's see, just gonna kind of lay this out and make sure you like it. Yes, it is gonna be tedious, it's okay. I'm not sure what I'm gonna put in the middle of these yet. That might be an off-camera situation. Just so, let's see, so this one goes here. So you're kind of going every other. You want to build kind of a zigzag, so to speak, between them. And looklet, I didn't pick papers that were overly directional, so I might swap these actually. I might do shinier in the middle of this one. I think I'm going to actually, because I like the shiny. I'm like that crab guy on Moana. Shiny. Holler if you know what I'm talking about. We lived on Moana for so many years because my kid loved Moana way more than Frozen growing up. So, and her favorite song was Shiny. It wasn't any of the princessy songs or, you know, the Moana song that's super popular. It was Shiny. That was her jam. And for that, I am proud and concerned. I'm just kidding. She's great. Let's see. Okay. I'm just kind of looking at the instructions and deciding like which ways I want to go and all that. Having the picture in front of you definitely helps because it kind of helps me place my pieces. And then I know like where their photos are probably going to be ballpark where mine are. So, yeah, I think I want shiny here. Flip these. Okay. And once you get it together, it's not too hard to figure out. Let's see, let's save that one. Yeah, I already like how this is turning out. It's going to be really neato. And yes, I did just say neato. Holler to the 90s. Okay, and I think a photo is going to kind of cover that, so we're good there. Oops, corner to corner. Excellent. It looks like I might be short a piece. So, yeah, maybe cutting another one. Let's check. My kid is out of school, which means her friends are out of school, and now they are messaging each other, and I get all of her messages. So I'm going to go ahead and put my phone on Do Not Disturb. Haha. There we go. All right. So you might need a couple extra pieces. Looks like I need one here and one here. So I might cut one more square with this cute shiny blue. And these again were 2 inch, right? Oh my gosh, you guys. Math, I tell you, math. There's been too much today. Too much. It's not even the poor scrapbook layout's fault. It's like all the taxes I had to do earlier. My brain is like done with math. I need to go like write a piece or something when I'm done with this. Polish my brain. Go read a book, you know? Let's see. Give me some suggestions in the comments. What should I read next? I need some good ones. Get me through this hard time of mathing. All right. There we go. This looks a little better. And then I have 2 pieces. If I need to fill in some extra space, I have them. So really, you're going to want to cut like 6.5, 7 squares for that part, especially depending on how you're layering your photos. So I think I like what I see here. I'm going to go ahead and put it down. I'm going to use repositional because I'm not too arrogant, hopefully. So I got my silicone mat over here. It's helping me hold my phone up, so I'm going to leave it there. I have my phone up in case you guys need comments or have questions. I am watching comments, just so you know. I actually am actively. Although I am finding, since my internet is so iffy up here, people will comment and I'm watching it the whole time and the video is very stable. But like all the comments come across as soon as I get off and I'm like, how come I didn't see that 20 minutes ago? So if you guys are commenting, I am so sorry if I'm not responding. I really don't see anything coming through, so I'm so sorry. I felt really bad. Because I was like, go ahead and holler your questions and I'll answer them as I go, and didn't see any of them, so. Alright. Okay, this piece, I didn't like how it laid on there. And I will say the repositional is sticking to the vellum very nicely, so if you ever had questions about that, be reassured, it sticks just fine. There we go. Again, just tedious work. I would turn music on in the background while I work, but YouTube will flag me because if you have music on, they tend to go, oh, you can't play this here. So I work in silence when I'm live. So all the music's in my head, yo. It's a good time in there. Alright. I suppose if I put it on light enough that perhaps you couldn't hear it, maybe, but I feel like somehow it always hears it. So I could put an earbud in, but I'm afraid that would just be overstimulation for me. Alright. We are getting there. It's like, you know, it's like eating an elephant. You just do piece by piece. And then you end up with a gorgeous masterpiece when you're done. And I think I am going to love this page just based on the colors I chose in this wonderful shiny paper. I just love it. Love it more than I thought I would. Let's see. Tell me that in the comments too. If you ever had like a collection you got or saw a collection launched by CM, or a secret box that you open, you're like, I don't know if I like it, and or you saw a collection come out and you're like, I don't know if I need it, and then later you were like, wow, this is amazing. Tell me in the comments, because I would love to hear what you were pleasantly surprised by. For me, it was definitely this one. And then, what's the other one? Oh, Full of Wonder. I did not get Full of Wonder at first because I was like, I don't know if I'll ever use that. I mean, I have a girl, you know, she likes, you know, I guess pink could apply, you know, whatever. And then I opened up the world of Flower and Garden at Disney and fireworks at Disney and other fun things I have coming up for hopefully when I start working on an actual family album. Spring pictures I did of flowers. I'm like, Full of Wonder is amazing. And so I'm learning it's just about what you need at the time is what I'm learning. It's not necessarily, you know, you hate the collection. You're just like, yeah, I can't really use that right now. So if there's one that pleasantly surprised you that you ended up using a ton, put it in the comments, whether you're, you know, watching this on Facebook or on YouTube. I would love to hear what collection you are in love in now that you're kind of skeptical of. I recently heard a quote, and I hadn't heard it before, but apparently it's one people say sometimes or have said before, don't yuck their yum. And what that means, if there's something you just don't like a collection from CM or, you know, some kind of product from somewhere or some kind of store, whatever it is, don't talk badly of it because someone in the room might actually love it. And I mean, it's not to say we don't all have our opinions, but it's just about being positive, right? Like, just say it's not for me. I have learned to be more positive in that aspect where I don't go like, oh, it's so ugly, or oh, it's just terrible, or, you know, I can't stand that. I'm more like, yeah, that's just not my cup of tea, you know, like it's just not for me. So perfect. All of our pieces are down, and I think we're gonna need, I do have the extras on standby in case, and I do have another piece of this if I need more of the gold. So the next step would be to figure out my strip, which, you know, I like to walk in prepared. No, not really. Which I was debating just doing this, or even shiny star. I don't think that'd be too much because it's gonna be separated. I don't know. I'm not sure. I do a more vellum, but I don't know if I want to go vellum. Or I could do this gold. I have more strips of gold. Or I could look through the rest of my celestial, however you say it, delights. There are some words that are just very hard to say. I also love this shiny cloud paper. Oh man, maybe that'll work there. Hold on a second. Hold on now. That might work here. It also depends what border I use. And this side's just normal clouds. Oh, guys, I love it all. It's horrible. It's just so hard. Let's see what our other options are. Plus, you get to get a little sneaky peek of all the Celestial Delights if you haven't seen it yet. I have seen people do amazing things with this. I will say at first I was like, but I think I'm going to use that this summer. So stay tuned. Oh, I need to see what I'm working with here. Should probably keep an eye on my time because as soon as I get home I might need to go shut my door. That's interesting. I just don't know if it fits here. I like it. I just don't think it fits here. Oh, this darker one might be okay too. Again, it's going to depend what border I put there, and I really don't know what I'm putting there yet. Stars. I think I need something blue. Blue seems to be the way to go here. Maybe that's fun too. Is there like a gradient blue? I thought I had one. I mean, there's a new gradient blues. A paper pack that I have too. Oh man, I want to save that paper though. Ooh, maybe that works there though. That one's an option. I'm going to keep that one on standby. Otherwise, I might just use my shiny stars, the rest of that I have. We will see. I think I like the shiny stars because I'm going to divide it up anyway. With a border, so I don't think it's a bad thing if I reuse that there. I think I'm going to just go with my gut and use this one. Alright, so this one, as our directions say, now we have our mosaics down. We're going to cut an 11 5/8, more math, yay, by 2 strip. And, oh, with the pinstripes paper, I'm using the sparkly stars paper. That's just what I call it. I don't know. Unofficial sparkly stars. And then place an arrow border sticker. I'm actually thinking a Full of Wonder border sticker might work really well here. So first I'm going to cut this 2 inches again. I'm thinking, do I want it thicker though? Because that's the thing. You can look at the directions, and even though it says 2 inches, I don't know if you necessarily have to do that because I might want it wider. Because I might have put my squares too close together. See, there's going to be this big white gap. So I might start, let's see, it butts right up against there. So I might start with 2.5, y'all, and be a rebel. Because it looks like it butts right up against those squares. So I'm going to go 2.5 on this one. I know the directions say, give that, it looks so complicated. I said earlier, it looks scary. It is tedious. It is a little tedious, I will say. But it's not hard, just tedious. I just followed the instructions very closely. I did, one thing I did do is cut my squares. These are 2-inch squares, and then you cut them in half. I didn't read you cut them in half again. So cut your squares in quarters is what you do there. But it's just squares, and you just keep cutting is all. And this is 11 5/8 inch, which, like I said, there's been too much math today, so I'm just going to go to 11 5/8. I could figure out how much they cut off on the one side, but you know what? I don't really want to. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that's like the line just past the half, which I'm sure y'all were like, duh, Ashley. Like, come on. Yeah, English major right here. We read and write. That's what we do. I love to journal. Oh, I see. So yeah, you're going to want a little thing on the bottom too. So 2 inches is probably appropriate. This is why I trial and error, y'all. So yes, we are going to cut it to 2. I thought I was being so smart. All right. That's okay, because I'm going to use this little strip for another project. I already have it in mind, actually. It's coming up. All right. Perfect. I could have even gone wider, but that's okay. We want regular tape runner. There's too many tape runners sitting around. Ooh, this one wanted to stick really good. There we go. Didn't want to come up. And yes, my thing looks a little crooked, and that's okay. You're gonna learn I place things a little crooked sometimes, and I don't really mind. Looks fine from here. I don't know. It's fine. Everything's fine. All right. So there is our pictures. And then in my head, while I'm working, because I did not pick this up before, so I'm just going to look at it and see if it may work. Oh, my stickers. Where'd they go? I have my Full of Wonder collection here, but my stickers seem to not be here. Did I pull them aside? Oh, man. Well, that's not convenient, is it? Where did my Full of Wonder stickers go? Ah, here they are. They just didn't make it back in the bag. I put everything together, and I usually have it in one of those project folders, power folders. But in this case, I had these sitting out because I had used these earlier. I'm going to see how well these play together. Ooh, these tape strips are fun. That might be an option. Oh, I just heard my family pulling, so I'm going to shut my door quick so they don't make a rabble-rouse. Alright. I'm not ready to let you guys go yet. Alright. Just hoping to beat them. Done. But I love the hearts. I'm like, I've used all the hearts except this strand. But man, I love the hearts. The arrows are fun. I think I might go arrows. And that'll be okay. You can hear my husband from here. He's outside. My husband's a very loud voiced man. If you've never met him. Not because he's yelling, but because he's just got a deep voice. Okay. And this is gonna look really narrow compared to this. See, I should have cut my strip a little wider. That's okay. My gut told me to leave it wide, and I did not. And this actually goes all the way across your paper. So you're gonna want to, I'm just gonna kind of call it like it is and go right down the middle. Just accept there's a gap there. It's all right. It's all good, yo. All right, and I think I'm gonna leave my Full of Wonder stickers out because I love them, for one. And two, they actually play pretty okay here if I use the right one. So I might use those a little bit more. Now I gotta mat these, and that's where I always run into issues, is knowing what to mat with. All right. Which part of me's like, ooh, gold. I'm like obsessed with gold right now, which is so funny. But I might just do navy, or I'm not really sure what to do. I might go, ooh, this might work. I could just go straight navy or black even. This is like, it's got like a weird blue like tinge in it. It's almost like it's black with a little blue mixed in. It's very interesting to me, and I'm sorry you keep seeing the top of my head. I'm just trying to get a feel for this paper. Huh. I actually don't hate it, so I might use that. Okay, so it does have this lovely orange tone in the back, but I have another one, so it'll be okay. And plus, I'm probably going to get this again when it comes out. Yes, in case you didn't know, this is Celestial Delights from the last secret box, and I'm in love with it. And it's coming back, so if you like it, you can still get it. So, where are we? Crop 2 photos. I have to crop my photos? I wasn't going to do that. I don't think I'm going to crop them. I think I'm going to leave them full because this page, I mean, it demands that it be filled, right? So you can crop them if you want to. I don't think I'm going to crop mine, though. I think I'm just going to go straight up with them. Actually, I'm going to get a piece of gold, too. I'm just curious. Just walk with me in my curiosity, if you will. Not the right color. Hold on a second. There it is. Pull up my yellow and gold folder here. Like I said, I've been obsessed with gold. Let's see, maybe that would be a good one. You can get this still. I love it. Ooh, I kind of like it. Okay. Blue or gold, blue or gold, blue or gold. I think the gold pops better. I think we're gonna go gold. Oh, okay. Yeah, I think I'm gonna go gold. Go with my gut. Go with my gut, right? Okay, so I know these are actually 4x6 photos. So they're not like my weird digital version photos. So I could probably do this. How wide do I want my mat? These look like pretty wide mats. So I'm gonna go 4.5 by 6.5, I believe, for these. I'm trying to think the most paper effective way to do this. Okay, we're gonna do the 6.5 this way is what we're gonna do. 6.5. I'm just gonna cut this right down the middle at 6.5. It's gonna be okay. 4.5. And one more 4.5. And you want to check it all the way down. Make sure it's lined up on your line. Perfect. All right. And then we are just gonna stick them on. I printed off so many of these PhotoPass photos. Oh my goodness, you guys. PhotoPass and I get along way too well. That's Disney's version of, you know, people taking photos for you, and you can download them and you get your ride photos, and it's just amazing for a scrapbooker, especially a mom who's never in photos. Not that my husband wants to be in them either, but, and my kid's starting to not want to be in them, but I force them. That's what we do, right? It's like our role. So I'm in love with them. So now I'm going to strategically line these up so it doesn't look like I'm missing pieces. I love it. I think it's great. All right. So this one, I'm just kind of taking a mental note where I want it. This tape runner is like on the fritz. There we go. So we are kind of lining up. Get a little higher even. There we go. So yes, this layout looks very scary, but it's just tedious. That's all. Just takes a minute, and in the end, it is so worth it. I'm loving what you guys have put out there. Like, everyone who's posted this layout already, I'm just in awe. Oh, Yvette buys a PhotoPass with your, oh my word, if I lived there, Yvette, I would have an annual pass to like everything, and I would love it. My husband and I dream about moving to Disney Orlando and doing all this stuff when we're older and Lucy's done with school and all that. But you never know. One day, hopefully, it'll be fun. I know we're gonna go visit there again, definitely. So we have yet to get to Universal Studios, but we're hoping to do it when Lucy's a little older too. So, all right. So from here, what I'm gonna do is do some embellishing, like it's on here. I need to find something to put in centers of these, and I have, you know, obviously I have some options. I have like stars. Actually, I already see what I want to do. I think we're gonna see. It might work. These are the puffy stickers that came, and I love them. They're not like as puffy as you would think. Like, I don't know if you remember those old school puffy stickers. These are just, they just have a little bit of give to them, but they're pretty solid. I'm pretty impressed. So, let's see. I like these stars. I'm wondering if they will work there. Those are fun. And then there's also some of these on the back. Let's see. Some titles and such. And again, this all came with the Celestial Delights. I'm getting better at saying that word. Celestial. Let's say it again. I think I want to do, yeah, I like these stars a lot. I think I'm gonna put that in there. And then I have some smaller ones, and then there's like this white one that I might stick here. These go pretty well, so I'm like, why wouldn't I use them if they if they work, you know? Here I need to figure out a plan. There's this little guy, and I think he'd be okay too. Stick him there. It's just mostly to kind of close the gaps there. Your little mosaics. Perfect. I think it's cute. All right, so I'm gonna let you guys go. Since I got you this far, I got you through the hard part, hopefully. The tedious part. Let's see. The arrow and heart sticker. Oh, this arrow sticker and the heart sticker is actually from Full of Wonder. I'm not sure that's still available, unfortunately. They did a promo where they gave away things of it. You could check the website though, you bet. I think the mats are still available and those are super cute. But yeah, that is from the Full of Wonder collection. I'm not sure offhand if they're still available, but definitely take a look and let me know, or I'll look after this for sure. But yeah, I'm just gonna go ahead and finish embellishing, put a title on here of some sort, and then yeah, I think we're done. But I love it. I love how it turned out, as tedious as it was. It looks amazing. So yeah, I appreciate you guys tuning in with me. Holy cow, there's like a bird at my window freaking out. Is that a robin? I think it's a robin. It like flew up to my window and scared me. I never know what's gonna happen in a live. Oh, it's a bluebird. Oh, he's so cute. Sorry. Okay, I'm gonna let you guys go before any more birds come through my window. And if you guys have any questions, though, definitely holler at me. I'll be looking on the thread, and I'm pretty sure I'll get a notification as well. So thank you for joining. I hope you guys have a great rest of your afternoon. I can't wait to see what you do, and I'm loving what you guys have done so far. So keep up the good work and keep making those pages. Take care.